Hello everyone, I'm Dami. Thank you for clicking on my channel. I hope you're well. How are you? So today I'm going to be doing something a bit different. It's not going to be a book review. I have a couple books in hand that I'm going to be briefing through. It's going to be, there are books on my TBR basically, but the thing is, like most people that you probably have seen or know, I don't like having all the books that I'm going to be reading with me physically. I just like having them on like my Goodreads or whatever, because I find it a bit overwhelming when all the books that I know I'm going to read are like present. So all the books I have behind me are either books that I've read or a couple of the ones that I'm going to be reading, or some that I've been neglecting for quite some time. So the thing is, I don't know if I'm a mood reader, but the thing is, so currently I'm reading a romance, like a very, very cheesy romance. And I feel the need to just want to stir it up and shake it up a bit. I don't know if that's the definition of a mood reader, but I have some books with me here, and we're gonna run through them really quickly because they look fun. So I'm gonna put them in order of like, I think which I'm excited for, and honestly, they're not going to be very aligned because my OCD is going to be very it's going to mess it up a bit. Okay, yep. There we go. So we have 4 books here today, and I'm just gonna, start from the first one. So the first one is Blackwater Sister by Zen Cho. So like a lot of the other books I have with me, I don't know what they're about. I probably had seen someone talk about them. I enjoy what they said, and I just ordered the books off the whim, and that's it. So I guess it's gonna be fun reading what this book is about and just, seeing how I feel about it. When Josephine Teo starts hearing a voice in her head, she chalks it up to stress. Closeted, broke, and jobless, she's moving back to Malaysia with her parents, a country she last saw when she was a toddler. She soon learns the new voice isn't even hers, it's the ghost of her estranged grandmother. In life, Amar was a spirit medium, avatar of a mysterious deity called the Blackwater Sister. Now she's determined to settle a score against a business magnate who has offended the god. And she's decided Jess is going to help her, whether Jess wants to or not. Drawn into a world of gods, ghosts, and family secrets, Jess finds that making deals with capricious spirits is a dangerous business, but dealing with her grandmother is just as complicated, especially when Amar tries to spy on her personal life, threatens to spill her secrets to her family, and uses her body to commit felonies. As Jess fights for retribution for Amar, she will also need to regain control of her body and destiny, or the Blackwater Sister may finish her off for good. A thrilling modern fantasy tale packed to the brim with delicious petty spirits, intriguing family secrets, and an achingly tender personal journey for our thoroughly relatable heroine. I absolutely love this. You know what? This is very interesting. So aside like the whole eat and kill the rich of it all, I really quite enjoy when there's like a lot of like chaos around like the business of it all. So like with business tycoons and like, business billionaires and everything. I just really enjoy seeing what the underworld of that world is like. So like, I mean, I'm currently watching Succession, which is like amazing, and it's like just a lot of rich people going through turmoil. But then them mixing this with like some sort of, I guess, ancestry and a bit of, I don't know if I could call this fantasy, but like I guess just like a modern fantasy basically, and some kind of like fairy tale. This is quite interesting. So I didn't know this about. The only thing I remembered when I ordered this book like months ago was when I only knew like about the grandmother speaking for the daughter, but I wondered what it was going to be about. I really, really thought it was more of like she's moving back to Malaysia, she's probably going to try and like find herself or find life again. I did not know it was going this way. So this is very interesting. And then the grandmother using the daughter's body or the granddaughter's body for like felonies. I can imagine like waking up and then realizing like you're wanted. This is actually quite intriguing. So I really will be excited to jump into this when I can. Okay, next one we have Red, White, Royal Blue. So I've been putting this off for a while. A friend got this for me for my birthday. It's very thick, and I know it's romance, and there's a bit of a stigma, maybe on my side of the internet, of people saying that romance doesn't need to be as thick or as long, depending, right? Unless like it's another story and then romance is just like in the mix of this, right? So Red, Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I have no idea. Okay, so what I know about this is it's basically like fiction of like the son of, I guess, the president of the United States and the son of the Queen of England or something. I'm just going to get into it. Okay. When his mother became president of the United States, Alex Clement Diaz was promptly cast as the American equivalent of a young royal. Handsome, charismatic genius, his image is pure millennial marketing gold for the White House. There's only one problem. Alex has a beef with an actual prince. Henry across the pond. And when the tabloids get a hold of a photo involving an Alex-Henry altercation, US-British relations take a turn for the worse. Heads of family and state and other handlers devise a plan for damage control, stage a truce between the two rivals. What at first begins as a fake, Instagrammable friendship grows deeper and more dangerous than either Alex or Henry could have imagined. Soon, Alex finds himself hurtling into a secret romance with a surprisingly unstuffy Henry that could derail the presidential campaign and upend two nations. It raises the question, can love save the world after all? Where do we find the courage and the power to be the people we are meant to be? And how can we learn to let our true colors shine through? Absorbing, hilarious, tender, sexy, this book had everything I craved. Is it bad to say that I've read it and I'm less interested than when I was before I read what it was about? Because so the thing is, this is the thing, yeah. I enjoy romance when it's not the main story. And I sound like a hypocrite because the book I'm reading currently is just pure, young love. But I just needed a break because I had read a fantasy, prior to that book. But this, it almost sounds like fan fiction. Like, the son of the United States and the son of, the Prince of England. I don't know how to feel about this, but this sounds, I guess, very interesting. And I'm really wondering why it's so thick. It's 400 pages long, and I'm actually quite curious as to why it's so long. I wonder what it's about. Okay, this is very interesting. So I will say this has probably gone a bit lower on my list. If I do get a reason to bump this up to my list, I guess I'll find that. So, okay, next on the list we have Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. So I haven't seen this book quite a lot, but the people I watch on the internet most times have talked about this book. I guess it's been out for some time. And I only got this book because it was on sale at Kroger. It looked really cool. The cover's nice. And the only thing I know about this book is like a romance that circles from like the present to the past. And I really, books that like can reference the past and the future and it connects perfectly and like the context is very good. I adore those kind of books. So let's see what this is about. They say you can never go home again. And for Persephone Fraser, even since she made the biggest mistake of her life a decade ago, that has felt too true. Instead of spending glittering summers on the lake shore of her childhood, she stays home in a stylish apartment in the city, keeping everyone a safe distance from her heart, until she received a call that sent her racing back to Barry's Bay and into the orbit of Sam Florek, the man she never thought she would have to live without. For 6 summers, through hazy afternoons on the water and warm summer nights, working in his family restaurants, Percy and Sam had been inseparable. Eventually, that friendship turned into something more, before it fell spectacularly apart. Oh, days. When Percy returns to the lake for Sam's mother's funeral, their connection is as undeniable as it has always been. But until Percy can confront the decision she made, they'll never know whether their love is bigger than the biggest mistake of their past. Told over the course of 6 years and over one weekend, Every Summer After is a gorgeously nostalgic look at love and the people and choices that mark us forever. Okay, I find this quite interesting. This seems pretty cool. Again, it's going to be very embarrassing if I then, end up loving this book a lot more than I say now. But I think a running theme for me currently is when I, look for romance, I don't like it being the main plot, which sounds dumb because that's the whole plot. It's supposed to be romance. But I always think of something more. So I recently read Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, which is a review I'm going to post soon. And it was a second chance romance, but it was delicious. Like, that's literally, I've ordered Kennedy Ryan's next book. It's an author, I just want to binge all her books. It was just delicious. There was romance, but there was a lot more going on. Like, they owned a business. I can't really talk about that book. But anyway, so these two, they sound pretty good. Don't get me wrong. But I think I'm just not as interested because I don't have something that's hooking me, right? Because, for example, The Blackwater Sister, initially when I heard it was the grandmother speaking to the granddaughter, I was like, okay, cool, interesting. But then now I know that the grandmother, who's passed now, has some sort of agenda. She's trying to, attack or defeat some business tycoon. It gives me something to want to gobble up. So, you know what I mean. Okay, And the last on the list, we have The Taking of Jake Livingston by Ryan Douglas. Okay, this book, from everyone I've seen talk about it, everyone has said that this book is disgusting, it's scary, it's gory, and that made me want to pick it up. I don't know what that says about me as a reader, but let's get into this. Living in two worlds is exhausting, and no one knows this better than 16-year-old Jake Livingston. His working-class, diverse neighborhood is a far cry from the world of St. Clair Prep, where he is one of the only black students, constantly at the mercy of racist teachers and peers who don't understand him. But when his neighbor, a survivor of grisly school shooting, is murdered in the bloody initials... Oh, hold on, sorry, wait. But when his neighbor, a survivor of a grisly school shooting, is murdered and the bloody initials of the now dead school shooter, Sawyer Dude, are left on the wall of Jake's home, Jake is forced to confront another world he wishes he could escape, the world of the dead. As a medium, Jake knows ghosts are usually harmless, rarely interacting with people. But Sawyer isn't harmless. In life, he was a troubled teen who shot and killed 6 kids at a local high school before taking his own life. Now he's a powerful, vengeful ghost, and he has plans for his afterlife, plans that include Jake. When Sawyer begins stalking him, high school becomes a different kind of survival game, one Jake is not sure he can win. Gripping, timely, and utterly unapologetic, The Taking of Jake Livingston is chilling horror that haunts with searing social commentary from an exciting new talent. Oh my days. Oh, I had no idea where this was going. It takes a lot for me to be gobsmacked. Like, it takes a lot. Well, not a lot, but I did not expect. Let me be honest here. When I first, literally the first paragraph where he says he's 16, I rolled my eyes internally and maybe on screen because, like I said, the book I'm reading now, the thing is, I think I'm steering away from being interested in reading about teenagers and kids and maybe just even watching them as a whole. I'm getting a bit bored, to be very honest, unless the context is very interesting. So this is very interesting because I'm still a bit tired of the high school trope and I'm a bit bored. Maybe because I'm getting older, but this sounds wow. Because the thing is, this reads almost like Get Out, but I guess it was really like Get Out and just took a left because this is really interesting. Wow. And when I, saw that he was the only black kid in his school, my mind immediately went to Ace of Spades, which is actually right there, because it was the same thing. 2 kids who are the only black kids in a preppy school, like this one, and that one actually, literally the first page is a direct quote from Get Out and Gossip Girl. So that actually takes a lot of inspiration from Get Out. But this is really interesting. Okay, so the hierarchy of the way I'm excited for these books have changed as it was in the beginning. So first is now Taking of Jake Livingston. Second is Blackwater Sister. Now with these two, I don't know. Not like in matters, I'm going to read them anyway because I have the books now. But okay, I will say out of these two, I guess I'm a bit more excited to see how 2 different governments, the UK and the US, play with their sons maybe being in a relationship and how they try to. Because the thing is, I'm someone who genuinely, I consume a lot of media about, what I used to, about the royal family and, the Princess Diana of it all, and now watching The Crown, I really do consume a lot of that, and Meghan and Harry's Netflix documentary. I consume a lot of that, so I do enjoy seeing how powerful families and powerful societies tend to handle some of the most mundane, I guess you could say, scandals, for lack of a better word. So it will be this. Then every time after, I've heard a lot of people say this book is good, so I guess I will read it eventually. Maybe not in the summer. Who really knows? So change of hierarchy. Now we have The Taking of Jake Livingston, Blackwater Sister by Zencho, Red, White, and Royal Blue, Every Summer After. These are the 4 books currently that I'm gearing towards, because I have a couple more books that I do want to read, but these are the ones where I'm I think I want to dive into them, and now that I've read what they're about, I know which I'm going to pay more attention to and less attention to. But this is fun. This was really fun, and I actually want to see what my face looked like when I was reading this. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. So I hope I was able to entertain you for however long this video was, or the minutes of this video was. I've been Dami. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, share with someone. If you saw a book that you have read, please feel free to let me know which I should if I should rearrange the hierarchy of these books. And if you think one of these books aren't like worthy of being read, let me know. I have them anyway, so I probably will read them, but at least I have a heads up. All that being said, thank you so much for watching my channel. I'm Dami. Please feel free to come back next time when I'm talking about another book or reading the synopsis of books that I do want to read. Subscribe, share, comments, and all that fun stuff. Bye-bye.